Why disagreements feel like a threat to your ASD spouse. You're in the middle of a conversation when, out of nowhere, the other person's tone shifts. For them, it might just be a discussion, a small disagreement. But for you, a switch flips. Your heart starts pounding, your palms get sweaty, your thoughts race, and all you want to do is run away, shut down, or fight back with every ounce of your being. If you're autistic, this feeling is probably all too familiar. It feels like the stakes are impossibly high, like you're in actual danger. And you've probably been told you're too sensitive or that you're overreacting. But what if that's not true? What if it's a neurological response, a 5-alarm fire your brain is sounding because it genuinely perceives a threat? Today, we're going to explore the science behind why disagreements can feel like an attack to an autistic brain and what we can all do to communicate more safely. First off, let's validate this experience because it is real. When a neurotypical person has a disagreement, their brain might see it as a problem to solve or a difference of opinion to debate. But for many autistic people, the brain registers something completely different: chaos, rejection, and danger. This isn't a choice. It's a deep physical response. You might know it as the fight, flight, or freeze response. Fight doesn't always mean throwing punches. It can show up as becoming intensely argumentative, really rigid in your thinking, or seeming angry and dismissive. Flight is that overwhelming urge to just leave the room and escape the situation at any cost. And freeze is when your mind goes completely blank. You might go silent, unable to process words or form a coherent thought. This is often called an autistic shutdown. There's also a fourth response, which can look like people-pleasing. You might agree with the other person just to make the threat go away, even if it means ignoring your own needs. Take, for example, a simple conversation about where to go for dinner. A friend might casually say, "Not that place again, we always go there." To them, it's a minor suggestion. But for an autistic person, it can feel like a direct criticism of their choices. Their heart might start pounding, and suddenly, they can't think of any other restaurant options or even remember why they liked that one in the first place. They might just go silent, which is a classic freeze response. That silence isn't them being difficult. It's their brain going into survival mode. These aren't manipulations or character flaws. They are survival instincts kicking in. Think of past rejections as leaving behind a collection of sensitive emotional bruises. When a new disagreement happens, even if it's just a gentle poke, it can land on one of those old bruises, causing a level of pain that feels immense and physical. After a lifetime of these social injuries, the brain can get stuck in a state of hypervigilance. So when a disagreement happens, it feels like a confirmation of your deepest fears, that you're being rejected, that you've failed, or that the relationship itself is about to break. So why does this happen? To get it, we need to look at the nervous system. Think of your body's nervous system like the operating system of a car. You have the rest and digest mode, which is like being in park, calm, idling, and conserving energy. Then you have the fight or flight mode, which is like slamming the gas pedal to the floor to escape danger. For many autistic people, that fight or flight system is naturally more sensitive. It's like having a smoke detector that's set to its most sensitive level. Just a tiny puff of smoke, or in this case, a slight change in someone's tone, can set off the full-blown alarm. Their system might idle at a higher RPM to begin with, meaning they're already closer to that state of high alert. At the center of this threat detection system is a part of the brain called the amygdala. Think of the amygdala as a panicked toddler. It's constantly scanning for danger and processing big emotions. In some autistic brains, this toddler is hyper-responsive. Things that might seem neutral to a neurotypical person, a certain facial expression, a shift in posture, or even direct eye contact, can cause the amygdala to scream, "Danger! Monster!" Making this even more complex is the connection between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain for logical thinking. The prefrontal cortex is supposed to be the parent in the room that can tell the amygdala, "Hey, calm down. It's not a monster. It's just a pile of clothes. We're safe." However, research suggests that in autistic individuals, that connection can be less effective. It's as if the parent is in another room and can't be heard over the toddler's screaming. Once the amygdala sounds the alarm, turning it off is incredibly difficult. This neurological sensitivity doesn't exist in a bubble. It's made even more intense by other core parts of the autistic experience. First, there's the intense need for predictability. Autistic people often thrive on routine and knowing what to expect. Think of it like walking on a familiar, paved sidewalk. It feels safe. A disagreement is the exact opposite. It's like being suddenly pushed onto a tightrope with no warning and no safety net. The brain isn't just processing the words. It's panicking about the sudden loss of safety and the terrifying fall that might come. On top of that, there are differences in communication processing. Imagine a conversation is a game of catch. A neurotypical person might expect curveballs or fancy throws, like sarcasm or implied meanings, and can adapt. An autistic person, however, might interpret language very literally and expect a simple, straight throw every time. When a sarcastic comment is thrown, their brain is not only trying to catch the meaning but also trying to calculate the unexpected spin. This cognitive load can get overwhelming fast, causing them to miss the ball entirely and lead straight to a shutdown or meltdown. And finally, there's the cumulative weight of past experiences. Many autistic people have a lifetime of social interactions that have been confusing, painful, or ended in rejection. This can lead to an extreme sensitivity to perceived criticism, an experience some people call rejection-sensitive dysphoria or RSD. Because of these past experiences, a simple disagreement now can trigger all the emotional pain of every past rejection. The reaction isn't just about the current topic. It's about that deep, emotional bruise being poked again, activating a protective need to avoid being told you are wrong, broken, or not good enough. Knowing all this, how can we handle disagreements more safely? The goal isn't to avoid conflict forever. That's not realistic. The goal is to create a space where disagreement doesn't have to feel like an attack. And this takes effort from everyone involved. For my fellow autistic folks, learning to recognize the signs of your own overwhelm is the first and most powerful step. When you feel your heart start to race or your thoughts scatter, give yourself permission to pause. You can say something like, "My brain is getting overwhelmed. I need a break, and we can come back to this later." It's also super helpful to advocate for your needs clearly. For example, "I want to understand you, but when your voice gets louder, it's hard for me to process your words. Can we try to keep our voices calm?" Using I statements keeps the focus on your experience, not on blaming the other person. Writing things down in an email or a letter can also be a great strategy. It takes away the pressure of a real-time conversation and gives you time to organize your thoughts without the emotional overload. For neurotypical partners, friends, and family, your role in creating safety is huge. First, pick the right time. Don't bring up a difficult topic when the person is already tired, stressed, or overstimulated. If you can give a gentle heads up, like, "Hey, I'd like to talk about something later. Is now a good time?" This helps prevent that feeling of being ambushed. During the conversation, be as direct, clear, and literal as you can. Try to avoid sarcasm, metaphors, or broad statements like, "you always" or "you never." A real-life example of a positive switch would be changing "you never help with the chores" to "I'm feeling overwhelmed by the chores this week. Could you help me out?" The first is an accusation that can trigger a fight response. The second is a clear, calm request for help that invites collaboration. Stick to the specific issue and focus on solving the problem together rather than winning an argument. Pay close attention to your tone and body language. A calm voice and a relaxed posture can make an incredible difference in keeping the other person's nervous system from flipping into fight or flight. And most importantly, if you see them starting to shut down or get overwhelmed, offer them an out. Just ask, "Do you need a break?" This shows you respect their limits and that their well-being is more important to you than winning the point. This intense reaction to disagreement isn't about being difficult or defiant. It's about having a nervous system that is wired to be exceptionally sensitive to anything it perceives as a threat. It's a brain doing its absolute best to keep its person safe in a world that often feels unpredictable. With a little understanding and the right communication strategies, we can learn to navigate these moments with compassion, turning a potential battlefield into a bridge for connection. You are not alone in this. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What does this feel like for you? And what strategies have helped you make disagreements feel safer? Sharing your story not only validates your own experience, but also helps others in this community learn and grow. If this video resonated with you, please consider liking it and subscribing for more content exploring the autistic experience.
Hey guys, this is Mark. Click on the join button underneath any of my videos, then click on members only videos, and then click on join. And for $9.99 a month, you'll have access to members only videos, which are excerpts from previous workshops I've conducted for NT partners, ASD partners, and the neurodiverse couple. New videos will be uploaded weekly. If you are in a relationship with an autistic husband and you have struggled for years and years, if not decades, and you're burnt out, then this is the book for you. It's on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description area and also pinned in the comment section. This is a workbook. There's going to be a bunch of exercises for you and your husband to do. It's linked in the description area and also pinned in the comment section. Would you like to schedule a paid private coaching session? This will be in the form of a face-to-face Zoom call. Underneath any of my videos, you'll see this Calendly link. If you click on that link, it'll open up my calendar. You can pick the available days and times that works for your schedule. You'll get a follow-up email immediately after purchasing a session that will have the Zoom link that coincides with the day and time that you picked. I will get an email too that you scheduled a session, and I will be available on that exact day and time, and we will talk. I look forward to working with you.